Hello, hello, and welcome to Journey to SEA 2024. This is Shellyan Edwards Barron, your creative writing specialist, and I am so excited that today is the introduction to our Journey to SEA series for 2024 students, and I'm really looking forward to getting into it. Now, congratulations for those who did SEA 2023 again. And I know you're enjoying your vacation, getting ready for the new term, but still, a lot calmer and more relaxed than you were a couple of weeks ago prior to SEA. But for those of you who were on the journey with us, Journey to SEA 2023, thank you for keeping us as your companion. And we had some fun, we had some good times, and, lots of information shared. And the journey to SEA 2024 is going to be even better because this term and going into the series, we would be sharing a lot more information so that you can follow along and get yourself into that habit of creative writing and studying creative writing so that by the time the exam rolls around, you would be calm and relaxed and moving into the exam with what I like to call a peace-filled approach. And for those of you who are looking at the video from SEA Peacefield, welcome. Thank you for joining me. And those who are looking on YouTube or on my Facebook page with Coach Youth, thank you for joining us. I'm so happy that you're all here. So now today is a kind of, gathering materials preparation kind of video because I thought it would be necessary for me to share a little bit about myself, what I do, why I do it, and give you an idea of the program and how how our journey is going to unfold. So let me start with giving you a little bit of background about me. And I call myself a creative writing specialist because I really love the idea of writing and teaching writing. But I teach writing a little bit differently from the way most people do because I employ something called multisensory learning. And what that means is that students are engaged with multiple senses at a time as they learn about writing. So my students don't only do, the reading and the writing and looking at their own work, but we engage in activities and experiments to help make writing fun and learning about writing fun. Now, I know the average student that I meet, Miss, I don't like writing, Miss, I hate writing, Miss, writing is hard, and so on. So I am actually on a mission to help students appreciate writing more because that really is the foundation of learning to write well and having it, become a habit and part of their lives. So it's not going to be like a situation where, they're just doing it for an exam. Writing is part of life. I mean, we write at every stage. We write at work, we write at school, we write for fun. Those of us who write stories, authors, there's a lot involved with writing because writing is part of communication. And for students who don't like writing or they have anxiety where writing is concerned, then throughout their lives, chances are writing is going to be difficult, it's going to be distressful, and that is not going to make for effective communication. So, like I said, my mission is to help students feel more appreciative of writing. They don't have to love it, they don't have to become authors, but they need to know that writing is part of life and they can learn to write well, and it doesn't have to be boring or stressful. So that is a little bit about my mission, what I'm about. And I kind of got into this through working with my own daughter. She is one of those students who, they, couldn't sit still, would much prefer be playing with slime That was a big rage at the time she did SEA. She would have much preferred to be playing with slime or doing something else much more active than sitting down and writing. And in working with her, it occurred to me that, there are lots of other students like this. And what I decided to do was to put together a few programs that would help students who, really need a little bit more interaction than just, sitting and writing, so that they could, understand the narratives and the report writing and all of those things that are necessary to do very well at the SEA level. So I've been doing this for a few years, and each year I try to improve, try to work on things that are much more interesting and, interactive to make the sessions as exciting and useful as possible for students. So this year I have a few things that I would be sharing with you as we continue on our journey. And I'm really, like I said, I'm really excited to get started. Coming down to the end of the year last year and at the beginning of 2023, I wasn't well, so I had a very interesting beginning, but things are okay now. We're getting back started, and we're going to be meeting here every Tuesday at 11 for the creative writing preparation series. Now, of course, this series is free to all. I'm sharing it on my YouTube page, my Facebook page, and in the group SEA, the Peace-Filled Approach. If you're new and you're not, this is the first time you're hearing about SEA, the Peace-Filled Approach, please find us on Facebook, join the group, because in addition to these lives, I do check back within the group, and lots of information is shared. There are lots of documents and files that you can find in the group to support you with the creative writing. But there is also information on comprehension and math and grammar and spelling. And we have a wonderful community there that we really tap into to support parents and teachers as they work toward SEA, because we believe that SEA could be as stress free as possible. There will be some stress, but it does not have to be distressing. And I know it is an important exam, and it's a life changing moment for parents and students. So, our mission in that group is that, is for us to, you know, help you really approach SEA with more peace and I guess really reduced anxiety. Our philosophy is that working with God and going with God is really the foundation of that. And the next level is being prepared. So we do two things in the group that help create a very peaceful atmosphere. We share motivations and prayer, and we support each other like that, so that there is a sense of peace. And we also provide as much information and support as we can, so that parents, teachers, and students will be as prepared as possible for the SEA exams. So if you haven't heard of the SEA Peacefield Approach group on Facebook, search it up, join the group. We would be happy to have you. And feel free to ask questions, let us know what you need so that we can help you on your journey toward the exam. So, all right. So let's see. What else do I need to tell you in this first session? This first session is going to be a little bit shorter than usual, for the rest of the series, because, as I said, it's just an introduction. So, once I'm settled with that, then we're good to go today. But the sessions following, when we begin next week with the actual content and discussion, I would be covering both reports and narratives in one session. So I would tend to spend like about 20 minutes to 30 minutes on each topic, so that you'd be getting details on both narratives and reports every week. Now, that's going to happen during the term. And when we get to the vacation period, what I'm going to do is to play some recorded interviews because I know with creative writing and with SEA, the content and coursework is not all there is. There are other topics and issues that are pertinent to SEA that would not be covered regularly in the lives. So what I'm going to do is during the vacation period, there's the August vacation and the December vacation. What I'm going to be doing is interviewing, like maybe a nutritionist to help you with, keeping your children and yourselves healthy, a coach to help with, coping strategies, psychologists to help with understanding, anxiety and different things. So we'll be doing that during the break periods so that you can get a, better understanding of, we're looking at the complete person moving on this journey, not just the academics. And of course, I'll also be including some more information about SEA for those of you who are new to the journey and this is your first round with SEA. We will be talking about what the exam is about, um, how you can effectively prepare for it, some of the information about marking, what to expect, and those types of things, as we go. That's how we would continue to support the steps that you're taking toward ensuring that your child or your student is putting their best foot forward for the exam. All right. Now, the other thing is that I will be following a schedule, and I know one of the things that really helps with SCA preparation is creating and implementing a schedule. So let me just share with you. Let me bring it up, and I shall let you know. Um, let's see. So the schedule is available in SEA, the Peaceful Approach group. Um, so if you are in that group, you can go ahead and check in the file section and you'd be able to download the schedule. If you're not in SEA, the Peaceful Approach, you can check my website. Um, and I'll show you where that is. All right, so you should be seeing my screen. Ah, there we go. So if you're not in SCA, the Peaceful Approach, you can check. The website is woodcoach.com. And you would see a tab that says Journey to SCA 2024. Right. So when you look for woodcoach.com, this is what you would see. This is the home page. And then click on the tab Journey to SCA 2024. And when you get there, you'll see this page. Now, what we will be doing this time around is archiving all the videos here as well, so that you can pretty much have everything in one place. I'm making it available. So for those of you who would prefer to look at it on YouTube, it'll be there. If you want to share it from YouTube, you can do that. All the videos for the 2024 series will be here because on YouTube, there'd be videos from all the videos that we've done before, but I'm going to keep just the videos for the 2024 series in this section here on the website so that you can find, and it will be labeled so that you'll be able to find things quickly. Here you have 2023 to 24 report study schedule, and then 2023 to 2024 narrative study schedule. So I teach the report writing and narrative writing separately. So my creative writing classes are not combined for students who are beginning now. So I'm opening up a course for new students, so standard 4 students who are going into standard 5. Um, we're meeting on Thursdays. I'm opening just 2 groups, and this group would be focusing on narratives. So I teach them separately, but eventually for the standard 5, when students get into standard 5, I combine them when they're doing the drills and they're practicing the preparing, like in the last leg of the exam preparation. So, what I'm going to be doing is during the lives, I would be sharing information about both narratives and reports. In my classes starting this term, we'd be focusing on narratives because narratives has a bit more involvement than reports. And I guess we can talk about that a little bit. I'll show you in a little bit what I mean by that. And what happens is that there are a few more skills that students would need to engage with when it comes to writing narratives. So we focus on narratives in my classes first, and then when they get to standard 5, that's when, so like from September, we'd be alternating the reports and narratives so that they would get a bit of both. And then when we're doing the drills from January, we'd also be alternating so that they'd be getting a bit of both. And so that's why I'm looking at, doing the narratives first and then dealing with the reports afterward. Now, if you want to get information on the report writing, where's my book? So for those of you who are interested, um, I do have a report writing text, and I'm excited. I know I've been working on these for a long time. I do have the companion booklets. I'll be getting them back from the printers soon, so you can have this a complete set that includes the textbook with information on the basics of reports writing, fact versus opinion. I work with a 5 paragraph report for 5 paragraph format for the report. So information about that is here, reported speech, formal language, all of those things. And then there's a companion workbook that allows students to do a lot more practice with the activities that are in the book. And there's a journal that extends the information and the practice. So we're looking at, so it's a complete program. And once I get those books back, in about a week or so, I um waiting on the quotation to get, and then I'll be able to give you some deadlines on that. But it would be a complete course. So certainly once you have the package of this, you can work with the lives and the information that I share on the lives, and that would be enough of an introduction for the report writing, and that would lay a strong foundation for the report writing. And I'm working on a series for the narrative writing as well, but that would be out a little bit later. And because I'm testing out some of the materials with the groups that I work with, so I can give direct feedback and I understand how things work, what works best. And so I'm in the process of revising those books. So you would have both the narrative series and the report series that you can use those and follow along with the lives, and that should be a really good solid foundation that would give you enough to work with. And then come September, we would be, ramping it up, stepping it up into doing more drills, more writing, practice, feedback, that kind of thing. And for that group, come September, I have a digital series that I work with. I'm going to be printing them because I realize as well that, having the tangible thing and being able to write and work with the paper based information, that helps a lot because like I said, remember, we're working with multisensory learning, and multisensory learning is all about integrating movement and art and activities and all those things into learning to give students as many points of contact with the information as possible. Because when you think about it, we interact with the world through many senses at a time. We don't just see or just hear, it's a combination of things. And that complete experience really enhances learning. So that's what I would be talking about. And I would be sharing with you some of the activities and experiments that I work with my class. And so you could see how the whole multisensory learning works and how that operates to enhance their learning. So get a copy of the schedule, and we would get started with the schedule from next week. So you'd be able to prepare and be ready for the entire series. So, in preparation, you really do want to look at your timelines, look at what is required, look at the availability, how much time you want to schedule for working on narrative writing and working on the report writing. Because like I said, each week I'll be sharing information about two. Um, they and so we'd be moving with that schedule, and in that schedule that you'd be able to download from my website or from SEA Peaceful Approach. um there's a week by week breakdown, so that even if you miss one of the lives, you can check with the video. You can continue your own schedule and allocate the time excuse me, that's available. So in addition to that, what I want to encourage you to do is to create an entire schedule for learning as you prepare for SEA. And let me show you just quickly within the SEA Peaceful group, the other admin created a study schedule that includes many other topics. So like I said, SEA the Peaceful Approach. If you're not already there, join the group because there's a lot of information there. So we have a study schedule that includes many other topics, and let me just share that quickly with you as soon as it comes up. So because we're covering the entire um, curriculum. So my area of expertise is the creative writing. So that's what I would be focusing on. The other admin, she focuses a lot on math. So there are tons of resources on math. And this term, we're also ramping up our support with the grammar and the comprehension and all those things. So you get a really complete support in that group. So let me just show you quickly what that timetable looks like so you know where to find it. So the timetable, um, there are going to be just I think, I think, okay, yes, she did the modifications already with the creative writing. So as you can see, this is from this month, April, to March next year, because we're working with the exam being at the end of March, just as it was this year. And so there's math, there's grammar, comprehension, there's the creative writing, and vocabulary. And so you have that this is the month view, and as we go through the weeks, information will be shared during the weeks. And our posting schedule is the cover photo. And so on Sundays, we'll be sharing information about spelling, punctuation, and capitalization. Mondays, we'll be looking at mathematic concepts like multiplication, division, and the basics and the structure. Then Tuesdays, creative writing, we'll do the lives, and I'll also post some notes in the group. Wednesdays, we'll be dealing with comprehension. Thursdays, math again, but this time we are working with worded problems. Fridays, we'll be looking at grammar and sentence construction, subject verb agreement, that type of thing. And Fridays would be a break, but definitely a time if you would choose to do some review and practice. And during the week, you'd be getting little notes and so on that you could work on with that. All right. So that's the schedule with the SEA Peacefield approach. And certainly join the group. It's a really awesome space. Members are very supportive. You can ask anything and so on. All right. Someone asked in the chat, where do we get a copy of the book? At the moment, it is available on the website, so you can look under resources on the website. And so you can order, you can WhatsApp me, 717 if you'd like to get a copy, certainly, and I'll let you know. So really ordering through the website and getting, so these are the digital series, but this is the textbook here, so you can click for more information, and you'd be able to order it. But definitely WhatsApp me or give me a call, and we can arrange how to get that to you. For the text, I would hold on, give me a week so that you can get the complete package, because you really want to get the complete package to work the information. The text has the activities and the core content plus one activity, one practice activity per subject and per topic that is being dealt with. And then the workbook would have three additional activities per chapter, and the journal has what I call an exploration. So students would be required to, look at report writing in daily life, look at newspaper reports, different types of reports, so that they can actually see how report writing is integrated into what we do. I mean, we look at report writing as something a bit challenging for students, and we talk about the vocabulary and so on, but students are not new to report writing. What they do need is the structure and certainly the vocabulary so that they know how to do it well. But we children tell on their friends and tell on their family all the time. They're always reporting something, but the way they do it is very casual and informal. So the program really is to help them see the structure and the formality in report writing, and that is what is going to really help them get to the standard that is required for the SEA style report. So you do want to get the complete package now that it's available, so that you can have a full program working toward the report writing. So if you were ever concerned, okay, I don't even know the first thing about this, how do I get my child involved? I don't really want to send them to lessons and all these things. These are resources that you can use on your own and work with your child or your students, and follow along with the lives to get the extra advice that would help you with using those materials. So give me about a week. I'll be announcing it next week, Tuesday, when we get started. I'll tell you exactly the cost and so on, because like I said, I'm still, with working with the printers to get things sorted out. But it's just a week. You'd have it in time to really get started and buckle down. And of course, in the meantime, you have the lives to work with that you'd be getting the information here as well. So that is pretty much the preparation information that I wanted to share with you. So if you take nothing else away from this particular session, understand these things. One, we're going to be meeting here every Tuesday. Of course, if you can make it live, that would be spectacular. If you can't, there are multiple places you can get the recordings. It'll be on YouTube, SEA Peacefield Approach Facebook group, Wood Coach Youth Facebook page. And starting next week, the lives are also going to be going up on my website, which is werdcoach.com, wordcoach.com. So that's one. Two, um, the lives will roughly take about 40 minutes to an hour. and I will be looking at both narrative writing and report writing so that you'd get a fairly balanced approach with both. And I'm going to be sharing with you some of the tricks and strategies that I learned over the years working with students, especially those who are having challenges and difficulties. And because my programs are multisensory learning, I would be giving you a few ideas about those things as well. They work well with what the group that we call neurodivergent. So those are students who may be on some level or on the autism spectrum. They may be ADHD or any of those challenges. Those students usually require a little bit more activity and interaction when they're learning. And writing tends to be a challenge for them because writing isn't traditionally taught that way. But this particular program that I would be working with and the kind of information I would be sharing should help with exam preparation, creative writing preparation for students who have those types of issues and challenges, simply because it incorporates that multisensory learning philosophy of learning through activity and being and doing and not just receiving information. So that is something also to keep in mind. And finally, remember as you're getting into preparation and you're buckling down, settling down, absolutely create a schedule for yourself that works, a schedule for you and your child or your student that works so that you can have that consistent revision and consistent review and studying of the creative writing as well as all the other subjects. If you'd like a heads up with that and you're not sure where to start, I have the full creative writing schedules, one for narrative, one for reports on my website. It's also in SCA Peaceful Approach and the file section of the group. So you can get a copy there or either of those two places, whichever is most convenient for you. And also in SCA, the Peace Filled Approach, there is a complete study schedule from this month, April 2023 to March 2024 that points out, various topics that you can review and study. So you can use those as a guide and create a study schedule for yourself that fits within your schedule, how much time you have each day, and so on, so that you can be as prepared as possible for the creative writing as well as the other aspects of the exam. Now, many people ask me about, okay, what is the most amount of time or least amount of time? How much time really should you spend studying the creative writing each week? My recommendation is, I would say, like 2 to 3 hours, not all at once, of course, and you can do maybe two half-an-hour sessions and then one-hour session. And certainly, as we get closer to the exam, remember the creative writing section, students have 50 minutes, that's 50, to complete their writing. So when we get to drilling, you would want at least two sessions of that 50 minutes where they would sit and write a complete narrative or a complete report. So the schedule will be adjusted as we go, but to get started, two half-an-hour sessions and one-hour session for each. So we're looking at that would be 4 hours on average for the week, um, you know, allocated to studying creative writing and practicing creative writing because there are many skills that are required, and that's where we're going to be starting with an understanding of what is required for each of the exams. So, what is narrative writing all about? What is report writing all about? And we'll be looking at the individual skills first, and then we would look at combining them to create complete essays. So that's where we're getting started. So you'd be able to get the resources that you need, gather during this week what you can, look at your scheduling, and make sure you have an idea of when you can allocate time to writing. And of course, if your child or your students, they don't like writing, they think writing is boring or tedious, ask your questions. If you give me specific instances, I can help guide you with activities that you can incorporate, because I use quite a few activities, and there are activities in the book, but those aren't the only ones. And different students might, appreciate different things. So let me know specific situations. You can WhatsApp me on 717-4993. And if you're looking at the program outside of Trinidad, that would be 1-868-717-4993, and WhatsApp me, and I would be happy to help. And you can always message me on Facebook, message me in SEA Peaceful Group. There's a contact information on the website as well. So I'm accessible and I'm here. Like I said, I love writing. I love working with writers, and I am on a mission to make writing as painless and enjoyable as possible. Like I said, we don't have to love it. You don't have to love it. They don't all have to want to be writers at the end of the day, but they do, all students, I really want students to be able to approach writing with, calmness and peace, so that they can do their best. Because, when you're anxious and filled with anxiety and dread, you really can't perform of your best. So what we're aiming for is peace and calm, so that students can do their best with writing. Okay, so thank you so much for those of you who were able to check in with the Creative Writing Lives. I hope that many more people would look at the replays and the videos. And like I said, the videos are several different places. So if you have friends and contacts who are not on Facebook, they can still have access to the videos and the information to assist with their journey toward SEA 2024, particularly, especially where the creative writing is concerned. From time to time, I might drop in some other things, especially when it comes to worded problems and some comprehension. I will, maybe add in a few of those things as well, depending on the demand for it. But our focus during these lives would really be on the creative writing. Okay, so thank you so much for your attention, for your time, and I look forward to the journey with you. Welcome to Journey to SEA 2024. Take care, and I'll see you next week.